and Big Brain's going absolutely nowhere. They basically got themselves into that situation. They didn't think about what it was going to cost them for the rest of the hand. They ended up in a situation with too few chips, where they were basically committed to the pot that have folded earlier, or perhaps, re-raised pre-flop. They may have taken it down, and that situation never would have happened. If you think someone's weak in a situation like that, I don't seem to be much advantage in calling. You're just letting a weak hand hit a flop, and it's better to take it down there and then get the chips that are in the middle, and move on to the next hand, especially when you're not holding a premium hand yourself. So anyway, we're down to four-handed. Second in chips, Big Brain. It's got the chip lead. As I say, I don't think they're a bad player. I actually think they're quite a good player. I think it was around this sort of stage that I actually found that I was getting quite a bit of respect in terms of people folding. I decided to call there with the Queen 8 suited. I say I raise, they fold. Just a flush draw. Reason for betting a flush draw is there's two ways to win. They fold or they call and I hit the flush. If they fold, I win. If they call and I hit the flush, I get paid off big. Obviously if they raise, I possibly have to fold. I've got a pair of nines here. The raise and the re-raise, I guess especially from Big Brain, from what I've seen of him, I'm folding that there. I don't really want to race off all my chips at this stage. He could have anything really. I guess he's got a big ace at minimum. He could have a bigger pair. It's unlikely. I think he's got a smaller pair there, but I decided to fold. I don't want to race, especially with the big stack. I want to try and get heads up with someone. I want to try and pick up the smaller stacks chips. And then take on Big Brain and get some revenge for those aces. Sugar J is just falling off all his chips. As I say, the play in this was very strange indeed. And 8-10 is the best hand. Well, it's becoming pretty obvious that Big Brain is going to steal a lot. He should be, as the big stack. Sugar J has just made it 560 there, and spades it's called. What, it could really miss both of them. 900 bet there, and yeah, Sugar J's folded. Ace 4 in the big blind. Could defend this against Big Brain certainly if he raises, and nothing happens. Just a walk. I certainly was going nowhere if Big Brain raised me there. I'd probably make a re-raise. See what happens. But he's proven himself to be quite active, shall we say. I could even re-raise here. I do put him on a steal here, looking at it now. I guess my thinking at the time was I don't want to tangle with the big stack. I want to get the smaller stacks. I feel I can beat him heads up. And I'd rather take his chips then. King 9 here on the button. Again, I could probably re-raise. I'll just back down to the big stack again. I don't want to lose all my chips to him. I've battled so hard in this tournament that I want to get as far as I possibly can. As far as I can remember, there wasn't much money other than first place, so I'm certainly not playing for for second or third here. Normally sit and goes pay top 3. This one was for a $535 seat in the main event, as I say. The Full Tilt Online main event. 69 to enter, so I think there was something for second. I certainly wasn't playing for it. I wanted to get into this. I tried earlier on that day in a multi-table tournament and hadn't done too well. I missed out. And this was my last chance. I think it was on the next night. I decided to give it one more shot. This was it. He raised me again, Queen 5. He's just walking over the table at the moment. But that's not a bad thing. At this stage, I can afford to let him do that. I've got enough chips. Blinds, I've got what, 20 odd big blinds. I can afford to just say, hey, I'm going to let you walk all over me. And then when it comes to a little bit later, I'll be the one making the raises, and he's going to be frightened of them. That's the theory. And I think that is the way it turns out. I just don't need to get involved here, unless I have to. Basically, he's going to make a raise like that. I'm going to have a hand, and I'm going to catch him. That's the way I'm thinking at the moment. If it's folded to me, I'll probably raise a pot with some hands, but